We are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of Hanging with Joe Ball. Anybody who's kind of followed us knows we've been kind of hanging out, doing some of these streams kind of every other week. Just trying to get back into streaming again, and I thought this was the best kind of way to do it. Hanging out with my boy Joey Ball here for a little bit, talking comics, some wrestling, a little bit of everything, man. So how's your week been, brother?
It's been middle of the ground. I'm still trying to not just be a sick piece of shit all the time. It's just it's like an illness I cannot get over for the last like week and a half, 2 weeks now. But starting to bounce back a little and get some work done and stuff. So I'm feeling better in that sense that I'm finally making some progress on something and not just sitting around feeling sorry for myself not being able to move. So better today, thank God. So
That's good.
yeah.
Want to thank Leandro, who was here early in the chat. So thank you, brother, for stopping by.
Yep, thank you. How about
Yeah,
yourself, man? What you been up to?
brother, I've been ordering supplies. I got boxes. I got tape. I got top loaders. Just
That time of the
everything.
year again,
That time of the year. This
Yeah.
this small apartment is getting smaller. It's just kind of that the madness has begun. I'm talking with the guys about ordering the stickers, the prints. I got to get with Phoenix Animation to see when I can get the metal prints. Talk to Brandon about the stickers and all that stuff. So just the proof for your copy of your cover for the Ace Volume 1 second
Yep.
print. So it's been crazy, man. Crazy, crazy time right now.
People don't realize, like, I think sometimes how much time gets eaten up just trying to get products made. Like to go through all the little things you don't think about till you're on the spot, and anyone that makes anything is asking you all these questions where it's like, oh shit, I didn't even. There's different cuts of stickers. I just was thinking square, So there's all kinds of little stuff you don't think about till the options are in front of your face. It's like, oh shit, there's all kinds of little things about the stuff to keep in mind.
Got Metal Movies and Brewskis in the house. Thank you, brother. That's right. Hail the Hornline, always.
How you doing, man?
And yeah, guys, just bringing myself up full screen here. Guys, look at this right here. This is what it's all about.
No, it's beautiful.
Look at that. I can't show anything. Nobody has the book yet, so I don't want to spoil. But it's real. It's beautiful. Love that white logo Hal did, and this amazing cover by Pat Maxton, aka Doodle Bags. See the Ace logo there. Then you see that amazing art. Super happy with this. I'll probably be placing the order. Gotta go over it one more time, but the first couple of times I've looked at it, everything looks on point. So I'm super happy with this. Hopefully the your cover will be the same when I get it, and like I said, I'll get ready to make the big orders, and I'll just have boxes and boxes and boxes. I just picked up the Gemini mailers, so yeah, it's getting crowded here. So, but this is good. It's getting time. I've sat with this volume for a little bit. Just finished the script for volume 3. I'm going over that, making sure it's right before I send it to Canales. So, I'm also preparing Bloodbone. So, it's just work on top of work, man.
Yeah, it feels sometimes like when I finish something, I finally finish something, but there's always that one day where you realize, like, no, this is just how it's always going to be as long as I'm making comics. So there's never any nothing's ever finished really, because it's a process that just doesn't end until you decide to end it. So it's just a lot of constantly keeping the ball rolling. It can be exhausting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But when you see people support your book, and then anytime you get some new backers and stuff, and people are excited for your comic, it kind of makes it all worth it. So
it does. It feels good when you see that thing in people's hands. Like
Yeah,
each step feels a little better than the last, you know. So
definitely. I just heard from a guy today. He was complimenting Volume One. He got the PDF for it, so he said he really enjoyed it. I was like, "Thank you, brother." Like, yeah,
yeah, that's cool, man.
yeah,
You like that real feedback where they go out of their way to give it to you.
yeah. So that's kind of what you do. Try to make these as good as you can. It's like there's a lot of work people don't know. Like, I could put out a script, whatever, and just bash it out, but trying to make sure these are really good. It's something that I would read.
Yeah.
I said I'm just going over like the Volume 3 script, and I gotta be hard on it. Is it as good as the last one? What can I make better? Stuff like that people don't really see. As you're kind of pouring over this.
Well, we definitely do our best to double, triple, quadruple check some of this stuff to make sure it's living up to as good as we hope it is.
Yeah.
I was rereading some that stuff, and I noticed like 2 different characters using the word option, and it was driving me crazy. Like within like it's separate pages, but I seen it too many times, and I was like, no, I got to go back to one of them and change that out for one of them, and just bust out the old thesaurus because I can't have this. Now that I'm seeing it, I can't stop seeing it. So
yeah, dialogue's super tricky, man. It's like so many times I'll be like, I don't want this character to talk like I talk.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the more that I can avoid it, sometimes I'll purposely just use another word, just because it's something that I would say normally. So that
Same
way
here.
it doesn't even as much as possible I want all these voices to be like unique to each other.
Yeah.
So that's it's tricky, especially when you start adding more characters. You're like, you don't want to have that kind of sameness about them.
Yeah, I try really hard when I'm in those moments to think about like the personality of the character and how to translate that into like how they would speak or how they would approach things, even if it's from like a perspective of like they may think one thing but say another. Like you can have a character that's like hates being the bearer of bad news. So even though they say things, it's not necessarily indicative of their personality and the literal verbiage. It's just indicative of who they are as a person. All that stuff can be tricky, but it's stuff we got to think about because who wants to read a bunch of characters that all talk and act exactly the same and all just happen to sound exactly like the guy that wrote the book too.
Yeah, especially like that kind of like the current speak. I never want to do any of like the Joss Whedon dialogue that's been creeping up and infested everything.
Yeah.
Even with like humor, everything's kind of like there's no quips. Like I try to make like the kind of maybe like the situation funny, but I try to avoid nothing even close to like the Marvel quippiness, which I find disgusting at this point. So.
Well, it's like it'd be one thing if like that kind of stuff actually happened enough in real life to add a touch of humor to it, like being silly. But it's like the Josh Whedon or the Joss Whedon talk has gotten so out of hand now. It's kind of like I've heard a lot of people relate it to Friends. Like it's like listening to characters from Friends just talk constantly, and I'm like, sort of is. Like it was funny the first maybe second time someone used it to death, but I don't know anybody in real life that's that witty. That's always got some generic stupid thing to say all the time. Or at least in TV shows. Even when I was a kid, I was like, but nobody reacts that way. Like people would think I was a weirdo if I did that, or if I just walked in the house and left the door open all the time. Odd things like. Well, how's wrestling been, dude? I've been kind of out of touch on it. Has anything good went down?
It's picking up, man. CM Punk just got back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they're setting up the big CM Punk against Moxley unification match, which I think is going to be pretty awesome. Like Moxley has been killing it this year. I think he's run away with Wrestler of the Year, not just in AEW, New Japan, Indies. He's done everything. He's just had incredible match after incredible match, and he just feels like big time. When Moxley shows up, it feels like you're watching a superstar, and not too many can do that. Like I saw his match with Roosh live was absolutely fantastic. And so, I think hopefully Punk, will be healthy and he'll be ready to put on a classic with Mox.
Well, Mox is the Cincinnati boy, so by default, I will root for him. And I don't really like CM Punk, so I hope he beats the absolute shit out of him and just leaves him a complete mess. But and pins him 1, 2, 3 for a clean win. I will. I don't know what'll happen because I don't think they've really given us a whole lot of inclinations to that yet. Like they may not just throw the belt right back on Punk that quickly, make him kind of work his way back up a little bit. But I don't know at the same time because sometimes Tony Khan just does do stuff like that out of the blue. Like you'll just get a title change you don't expect, or even like that Ricky Stark stuff was just so weird and kind of out of place. I was like, man, we're just getting somewhere. I see what you're doing, but that crowd's red hot, and then you're just gonna. I don't know. I will see. I'm not gonna be too critical of AEW yet, but I'm rooting for Mox. Beat Punk into the dirt. Do it, dude.
Also, they just did they announced the trios tournament, which is gonna be pretty sick. Like it's got some great matches. AEW has tons of like trios possibilities, so
yeah,
I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be fun. I think AEW is kind of starting to run back up. All Out's coming. I think a lot of that kind of stuff that was kind of lacking has kind of tightened up. I think I'm expecting a good one this pay-per-view, man. Definitely. So I'm starting to get excited again after a little bit they're kind of wavering.
I wonder how once Kenny comes back, what kind of differences we're going to see and maybe what he does, because he's been talking about how just the injuries are getting to pile up, and the reality of the style of wrestling he's been participating in for years now has just really banged him up, and he's going to have to change his approach. We've seen Daniel Bryan and guys like that do it, but that's because they are pre-WWE, Bryan was already pretty well established as a dude that could just do any style of wrestling. So I think for him to tone his style towards being more of like this MMA-esque ground him and pound him, tie him up in knots fighter was like easy to convince you of. So I'm interested to see what Kenny ends up doing in terms of stylistic changes. I hope it doesn't turn into like lazy heel, because we've seen that before. Like I don't want a situation where I feel like I'm looking at Evil, moving all slow, doing nothing, dragging it down. Now I expect Kenny to do better. Obviously, I don't think he'll be Evil bad, but I just hope whatever adjustments he makes works. Because do you remember when he was in his New Japan like cruiserweight phase, when he was kind of doing the Scott Hall kind of looking thing, the cleaner gimmick? His style was just like, something wasn't landing with it, even though he was doing some of the same stuff that the crowds were used to. Like crowds were just asleep, when he came in and won that cruiserweight and or the junior, you know what I'm talking about, junior title. And I was talking to some of my friends over there, and they're like, my buddy Dave Coco was like, yeah, dude, I was at that show. Literally the guy right beside me was getting depressed because of like how boring the match was and how excited people were to see Kenny be like a New Japan regular, not just like a guest every once in a blue moon from like a crossover event or something. And he got a reputation real quick over there. It's like, you never know which Kenny you're going to get. And then by time that G1 match he had with Naito, by time that was over, like the crowd, they were 100% back on his side. I mean, Naito was red hot then, and that crowd was going bananas for Kenny after that match. So he fixed the issue, and ultimately everyone loved him again. But it's like, I hope we don't get that weird sort of Kenny thing where you're just like, come on, man. You got to give me a little something more than that. I'm falling asleep over it. So,
yeah. Aaron's talking about Goldust saying AWPPV being 2 nights. Thankfully, Tony Khan shut that down.
2 nights of drawn and quartered. Everyone on the roster is gonna die.
I've come to that conclusion. Put everything on one night, and let's go.
You went a little robot on me there for a second. What'd you say?
Yeah, I said I'll put everything on one night, and then let's go. It's like
2
nights is just too much.
Yeah, that's a WWE move. That's we don't really need 2 nights of WrestleMania or 7 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. Like all these companies need to chill it out. They're like 4 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. I'm like, you literally, like, I know your roster's big, New Japan, but you don't have enough good wrestlers on there to even make that work. And I know that 75% of all 4 nights are going to be irrelevant mixed tag matches and like feuds that were never legitimate in the first place.
Yeah.
But
yeah, guys, get your stuff together.
Yeah. Just shit together. Gato and Triple H and everybody else had about enough of this fucking nonsense.
Yeah. Speaking of what's not nonsense, when we check in on Def here, Joe, it's
oh yeah,
$57,638, 741 backers. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's still chugging along pretty good. I was hoping I'd be to 60K by now, but I'm not complaining. So one day at a time with this. I've been slow on it like the last week and a half because I've been so sick. I haven't been promoting and talking about it as much or as good as I should, but I'm starting to recoup now. So hopefully I can get back on the just keeping it fresh in people's heads and trying to reach new backers and things like that.
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, please do so. It's going to be a fantastic project. Joe is pouring his everything into this. It's got some incredible pages and a lot of just cool stuff that, I don't think nobody else is really in this lane. When people really get it, they're going to be gobsmacked,
Yeah, thank you, brother. It's my my heart and soul project, so I think it's going to hit home with a lot of people in ways maybe they didn't expect. But I'm excited to get it in everyone's hands. Some of the these recent action pages I've been drawing, I just can't wait for people to see some of this stuff. And it's not even so much like for the visual, just on the surface, the visual art of some of it. It's not all the little lines or whatever. It's just, I think it's a really intense story that the bulk of humans out there can kind of find something they can relate to in it. Even though it's, strange and weird looking, it's still like a human story kind of shrouded in strange and weird imagery.
Yeah, it's also alien chick booty there too. So
yeah, I mean, alien chicks got butts too. And think about it, she's probably like the size of like maybe like a really tall tree. So her booty's actually a giant booty.
Yeah, careful. You're gonna have the death by Snoo guys losing their mind on this character. Yeah, just all those weirdos. You see, like all the memes with Rhea Ripley and Dominic.
I do not endorse any fetishizing of my characters.
There you go. See, got it. No weird stuff here, people. We're trying to make comics, not hit people's weird obsessions.
Now, the bigger the book gets, the more that's going to happen, whether I like it or not. But we're going to avoid it at all costs.
I always say everybody's welcome to buy the Ace except foot fetish weirdos. To draw a line somewhere.
Yep. Yeah.
That's just the one area where even I, as a creator, have to say enough is enough.
Yeah, enough's enough. Get normal people.
Guys.
You want to buy this comic book?
Yeah, just trying to make normal comics. You know, I gotta easily.
Here's the thing too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Canalis has a lot of foot shots, and you don't need people getting all strange about it.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I gotta be like Canalis. No, yeah, cover up the foot in that panel. It's just feet everywhere. Just,
too much feet. This is just gonna lead to real life problems that I'm in no mood for.
I hope people know we're kidding. There are no foot panels in the Ace. Canalis makes perfectly sure that everything stays above board.
One thing that does frustrate me about Death is how often I do have to draw feet just because of the angles that I'm using, and I'm like, this is horseshit. I've never had to draw so many feet in my life as I have had to with this fucking book. It's just characters are falling and flipping and jumping, and they're just their legs come into panel so much. There's always fucking feet everywhere, feet and hands, dude. They're a goddamn curse. Why couldn't the Lord just give us nubs?
Thank you for sharing the link, brother, for Bloodbone. Yeah, so anybody who hasn't heard about this, launching this Ashcan, 12-page Ashcan, black and white, about this new character called Bloodbone. He's basically a man who ends up having to become a vigilante to clean up his city from criminals who've overtaken it. And, it's very kind of action-packed, very kind of over-the-top kind of style. A super kind of, I like to call it like a mix between like Bane and Arrow. Kind of the idea that he's driven kind of like Oliver Queen is in Arrow. And then the idea of him like basically being kind of this unleashed, kind of badass, bone-breaking kind of giant of a man. In Bane, just kind of mixing a lot of different kind of things, together. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, I had 12 pages done by Donald, and I thought it was kind of perfect time to kind of share it out with people, see how they feel if they want maybe like a full kind of 24, 32 page comic featuring the character. I won't be crowdfunding this through any sites or anything. I'll be taking orders through PayPal starting October 5th. I'm super pumped up about it. It's a great cover right there by Ricardo Jaime.
Oh, it's amazing.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to see that get colored up. Gotta make sure, the right colorist touches that. But it's I'm super pumped about it. Anybody who subscribes to the mailing list is going to get an exclusive trading card with it. And so I'll go check that out. I'm really super pumped about this.
Now, is the thing that I'm doing going in there? I'm just saying the thing because I don't want to say too much about it if you don't want me to.
No, that's for something else.
Okay, gotcha.
No, this is the first 12 pages. Like I said, I've had these for a while. Donald I was kind of pitching this character to him, and he liked it. And I've just kind of been telling him to do some pages on the side, basically, as I've been doing the Ace, just for my own kind of thing. Sometimes it's good to take a break from, as much as I love the Ace, sometimes you got to kind of take a little break. And then Bloodbone's kind of been like that thing that I go to when I'm kind of in between trying to figure out the script or, waiting on art or whatever's going on. I could always go back to Bloodbone. And like I said, by the time it was done, there was 12 pages. And I thought, like, I'm seeing all these guys crowdfunding, not crowdfunding, but putting out ash cans like Joe Sontag,
Yeah.
Sean, putting out these ash cans. And I thought, you know what? Kind of cool to do that, get a little ash can. I'm hoping to do a little foil cover for this. I got to talk to Joe's printer and see kind of how that's gonna go. But I would love to get like a nice full cover for this. As I get the cover colored up and just put out this fun little 12 page. It's basically a full story, even though it's just 12 pages. Like, it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. So I felt really strong about it. I just had it, just got the letters back from SK, and he killed it. He's super quick and always does a great job with the letters for all of my stuff. And I was just kind of going over the PDF, and I was really. It's just a fun kind of story. Like I said, if you like that action, it is violent, it's bloody, but also has some humor in it. Donald threw a lot of kind of little like sight gags and stuff. So it's not something where it takes itself too serious, but it's also not too silly where you don't kind of get into like it. I think it strikes a nice balance. So hopefully people check it out. I'll be taking orders probably for a limited time, maybe 30 days, probably. So, like I said, that ash can will be limited, like everything I put out. So it'll just be kind of available for a little bit of time, and then once it's gone, it's gone. So go check that out. On Crackhead Jeremy's channel, Crack Pack. So on October 5th. So.
Well, we're so used to like vigilante superheroes being kind of like, sleek or smaller, agile, or just something. It's there's not a whole lot of Supermans. And he's not even necessarily like physically huge. He's just really strong. So to see a dude like Bloodbone that's like the size of the Incredible Hulk being like, I'm going to be a vigilante, it'll just be an interesting take because, like you can't just hide yourself in the shadows like Batman when you're, unless you're hiding in the shadow of the entire building because he's just such a giant dude. It'll be fun watching him kick butt, just size alone,
Yeah, it's, like I said, something different. This isn't tied to the Ace in any ways. It takes place in a different universe. So I like the idea of just having something where I can just start from scratch again. And like I said, the Ace kind of, it only spends a little bit of time on Earth. It kind of goes off-world quickly. So this basically takes place in like a big city on Earth. So it's just something where you can kind of deal with more kind of like the more kind of human element, no like aliens or anything on this. So it's a lot of fun. It kind of flexes a different muscle for me as a writer. I've been dealing with space and spaceships and different alien races and all this stuff. And now I'm kind of like taking street level, taking blood, bone, coming up with like real kind of human, like villains and stuff like that, kind of presenting interesting challenges to them. And so yeah. Hopefully, everybody digs it, man. Like I'll be sharing more stuff about it as I kind of get more art, and I'm working on like a pen up and different things. So, kind of the more I'll get, then eventually I'll start sharing more pages. I'll be able to put a couple full pages, and people can get like an idea of what the character is and everything. But yeah, man, I'm super pumped about this. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, Donald, I thought did a great job on this. It's got an amazing cover by Ricardo. And yeah, like I said, got some more fun surprises coming, like always. So, check that out.
That cover and foil. Woo!
I was like, this is big time. So
yeah,
you gotta represent for it. And like I said, the Ace, Volume 2, it's real. Look at that. No, that's too much. Too much. Look at that a little bit. There we go. See? Look at that.
Come in the mail.
It is beautiful.
We're gonna freak out.
Beautiful little comic. Love the soft touch on this. So yeah, guys, it's getting close. We're trying to get to the $7,000 goal. Trying to unlock the Ace versus Vane print for everybody. So yeah, go give it a back. I think you can still pick up one of Passion's last sketch cards, still available. And after that, I'll have some more sketch cards that I'll be putting up. So yeah, DS just the higher the number goes, the kind of more stuff people get when they get their package. So everything's on track right now for October. So go give it a look, help back it, and if we get past 7,000, we'll be giving away some original art at 7,300. I'll be doing a random giveaway once we get there to a backer, and they'll get a page of original art from Volume 1 by Canales. So I think that's very cool little motivation right there. So go
definitely
check that out. Back it once, back it twice, back def. Check out Tales of Novatera by Passion for drawing. That's getting ready. Getting into those final stages. CG Vacation, which has an amazing pinup by one of my characters in it. But yeah, man, we're just going crazy here. Hardline, just all the time putting out crazy projects. Yo, you got anything else you working on? You want to tell everybody about doing that? I know you're always doing covers and pinups and for different people.
I think Micah's already shown it, but I did like a poster for Micah Curtis recently.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
The witch chick getting, burning. And I did I'm doing it's like a Berserk. I think I'm phrasing this right. It's like a tribute cover that Micah wants to use on a set of, I don't want to say a box set. Maybe it was. I'd have to go check again. But for some kind of set of his books he wants to do for the next 3 nights campaign. So I'll be doing one other like splash image for him. I got some stuff for Yellow Flash in the works right now, that getting that moving. Got some Swarm pages that I've been doing the finishes on.
So that's Swarm, brother. Gotta talk about Swarm. How's that going?
The Swarm mailing list is up right now. I encourage everyone to go jump on that. Just look up Swarm on IGG. It's going pretty good right now. We're trying to get the colors moving along on it. The bulk of the interior, like layouts and everything's pretty much finished. I'm going through and doing all like the refinement work on it. And I'm around page 10 right now. So, and considering I didn't start that long ago, I can blast through like 2 or 3 pages in a normal work night if I need to. But start on the next 10 here soon and keep moving that along, because that'll be more like a 48, 50 pager. So we're just blasting through that stuff. It's I'd say it's already like 50% or more done in terms of like overall everything. So all the lettering and all that's already finished. But yeah, it's chugging along good. It's going to be a fun superhero book. I think anybody that likes like a mix of like Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man and kind of old school Marvel mixed with that early 90s weird fun that we got so much of then, just crazy animal characters and mutants and all kinds of wild stuff like that. I'd say a little bit of Trauma, even, maybe not to the max, but it's got a touch of that Toxic Crusader feel at the same time. So I think everyone will really like it. It's just going to be a good fun superhero adventure book. No, it'll be fancy in terms of the quality of the art, but it's good old fashioned in a lot of ways. So yeah, I encourage everyone to get on that mailing list, and we have a lot more stuff for Swarm coming in the near future. Shane Mess is writing it, and he's just doing a spectacular job making a good book.
Yeah, man, I gotta get Shane on one of these. It's been too long since he streamed or anything. So
yeah, I wish he didn't work third shift sometimes, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, he's just a busy dude.
So thank you to everybody for dropping links in the chat. Gotta get these in the description. I promise I'll have them for the next show we do. That would make it easier for everybody to go and check out the stuff. But thank you guys. We're gonna call it a wrap. Like I said, we usually only do like 30, 45 minutes at the most. So thank you, Joe, for hanging out with me and
Oh yeah, for
for a little bit.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
You want to tell them where they can find you before we get out of here?
You can find me on Twitter at ComicArtMaster1 or just look up Joe Ball King Toad. John Joseph Ball on Instagram and TikTok.
Go and say hail to the chat. Thank you to everybody who stopped by. Aaron, Menamoose, and Brewskis. Leandro was here.
Yep.
Anybody else lurking? You can follow me always at Edwin Aces. Stay tuned. If you want any updates on any of my stuff, that's where I'll post pages, art, anything else that you need. Please sub to this channel if you haven't subbed already. Trying to get back maybe the movie streams in the next couple of weeks. Maybe do like a limited run of Pimp Your Project. Just kind of trying to get back into it. I think it's kind of the perfect time right now to kind of make that push now that the Ace is getting ready for not exactly for fulfillment yet, but we're kind of laying the blueprint here. We're getting all everything in and stuff, so I feel good about kind of the timetable. So you'll be seeing more of me always. Check out the Hardline Monday nights, Zaid Comics, 10 p.m. Tonight I'm gonna be hanging with 80s on his channel at midnight Eastern. So I'll stop by and hail the chat. You guys have a great night.
Later, guys.